Oh, there we go.
We're just watching a movie.
Oh, what kind of movie? Oh, look, Star Wars. Yeah.
Like, which one?
Star Wars.
Are you talking about, like, the Skywalker saga? Because there's 9 of those, and then we got 2 Star Wars stories, and at least 3 TV
Hey,
shows.
the only Skywalker I know is Luke.
But Leia's a Skywalker.
What?
Do you want to see it or not?
Yeah, Star Wars. Do the air thing that cast it to the screen.
I mean, Chromecast?
Yeah. I haven't seen this since 1977 when it came out in theaters.
It might be a little different.
Not in color anymore.
It might be different than you remember it.
Where's Spock?
Spock isn't in this. It's Star Wars, not Star Trek. Here's the Han and Greedo scene. They really fixed some stuff up in this one. Watch this.
What the? What? They changed the film. Oh, stupid varmints. I'll get him.
What?
I'll
Star Wars is one of the best movies to ever be made. And here's the thing. You don't mess with near perfection. Or you should. George, you can't find the original cut of Star Wars anywhere these days unless you go VHS dumpster diving, which I do not recommend. So we are going to fix the VFX of Star Wars. If we succeed, all you loyal fans can enjoy Star Wars again. Alright, time to dig through the debris and see what we got.
I bet you have.
Okay. Let's watch this at 0.25 speed, shall we? Watch his neck. His whole head just moves.
It just moves.
I think in the original he didn't say McCunky or whatever.
I bet you have.
Yep, he just shot him. That looked better. So I don't know why they changed it. We're gonna change it back.
So how are we gonna fix it?
Use the split seconds you get before they actually shoot in the shot. There's frames there we can work with.
You were saying we could add like a glowing...
Oh, we're gonna add a
hole?
glow hold to him as well.
Yeah, that would be pretty
that'll
cool.
look cool. That sounds like a good idea. Let's do it.
Wouldn't it be kind of fun if I ran up to the camera and covered it up?
No, it wouldn't be that funny. I started out by tackling the blaster bolt, figuratively, not literally, like Greedo. This was actually just a lightsaber effect scaled smaller at the back and larger at the front. But I wanted to make it look a little closer to the original, so I tapered the bolt to a transparent tail and changed the core to slightly more of that classic red. I also had to use a few frames that take place before Han shoots in the remastered version to cut with a mask so that the part of it was moving. Han's hand and the blaster smoke, and Greedo moving slightly back as the bolt hits him. The rest of the image was static, but it's kind of hard to tell unless you're pixel peeping, which don't do that, because then none of our shots would look any good.
Then we wanted to make the impact look cooler, so we opened up good old Blender and made a randomized emitter that would shoot glowing icospheres to produce sparks. We then made the emitter glow, but didn't end up using that part. To make the sparks look more realistic, we added the appropriate motion blur and even some aging, so that as the sparks neared the end of their short, miserable lives, they would flicker out and die. I have a terrible secret. Our best YouTube video flopped. We spent over 3 months shooting, editing, scripting it, perfection. But it has a total of 178 views. So with your help, let's get it up to 179.
Next up, I composited the sparks in and added curves and glows to them to make them really pop. I constructed the exit wound using that handy-dandy lightsaber effect and masked it off to form the edges. Then I tweaked it for perspective and perfected the glow and brightness and added some heat distortion to increase the detail.
Then we added artificial light to the scene coming from the blaster bolt. Yes, when something glows, it emits light. Big brain time. We did this by duplicating the frames and brightening the selection with curves and tinting them red, using the mask to define where the red light would show.
Since there are some muzzle flashes in other shots from the original Star Wars, I added a similar one to Han's blaster by distorting a frame of the sparks I had rendered from Blender and emphasized their glow. If you take a look at the transition between Greedo's shot and Greedo's being literally shot and the billowing white smoke, it doesn't match very well because it goes from a high luminance to a low luminance. So I decided to take care of that. To create a smoother transition, I added a mask to darken it and keyframed it to move with the smoke.
For the next shot, we pretty much repeated the same technique that we'd used earlier to blow that hole in Greedo's back as he falls onto the table, but it was a bit trickier to track. We also threw some smoke into the scene hovering over Greedo, which lends itself to that smoother transition. Otherwise, where the heck would all the smoke go? Same place Obi-Wan's sanity did.
Only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise.
The footage I had was at the wrong frame rate, so I had to go through them and individually delete the frames that didn't move. While I was doing this, Isaac got bored and decided to read through Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, Silmarillion, Unfinished Tales, Children of Hurin, and any other work that I'm not aware of made by J.R.R. Tolkien. Anyway, took a long time.
I came all the way out here just to get this shot, and I could get run over by a combine or a grain truck at any time, so this is kind of dangerous. But if you're enjoying this video, then please consider dropping a like for the algorithm. Thank you.
Then I did the last shot where Han gets up and walks away. Since Greedo's head was an object with a lot of contrast, I tracked the smoke and glowing hole into the scene using that. But his head left the frame about halfway through it, so I had to hand track the wall instead. Still getting back at me after you're dead, Greedo? Not cool. Then I added detail to the wound by slowly dimming it as the shot continued. I did this by lowering the brightness while simultaneously increasing the contrast via keyframes. As always, I decided to finish with my classic motion blur to blend into the shot and make it look like it wasn't a complete waste of time, and the shot was finished.
And now the moment that you've all been waiting for. Han versus Greedo, the way it was meant to be.
Got Oscar. Yes, I bet you have. Sorry about the mess.
So guys, that was the shot. We hope you enjoyed the journey as much as we did.
As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
What the? They changed the film. Shut up, dude. I'm trying to act here.